Phase 11, or Exchange House as it's known today, what was in the last bit of the development here north of Primrose Street. It was the toughest one because this is where all the tracks came together. It was impossible to bring down large columns on a regular basis. Bruce Graham, who was the chief architect of the project, wanted to do was expose the structure. The reason we went with the tied arch is we looked at several different systems, is that it was the most efficient, the most direct, and fortunately the most expressive of the problem we were trying to solve, which is to bridge over the tracks. When you do a building where you expose the structure, every detail matters. We worked very closely with the contractor. We went through every detail and every connection for constructability, but also for long-term maintenance. It's been 25 years since it's open and it looks brand new. Now, as you look at the building, you'll notice that below the arch, those are hangars, okay? During the construction phase, they were columns as the building was being built. Below the arch, the splices are lap splices because they're in tension. Above the arch, they're bearing splices because they're in compression. Above the arch, you have the diagonal bracing to keep the columns stable, whereas below the arch, they're not needed because they're tension members. And so you have this expression of the loads, not only the arch itself, but how the load gets to the arch. The building itself is actually sitting on 250 millimeter thick rubber pads. So the trains below are somewhat isolated by the bearings. We use these bearings because they could take the thermal movements. We're currently standing underneath the Exchange House, and you can see it's quite open. Now the lobby is quite unusual because it had to be hung from the superstructure like a gondola below a balloon. On the other side of the building is Exchange Square. It's really a very lively place. It's kind of the social center of the development. It's a very modern building, but it also echoes the Victorian train station right next to us. It's really one of my favorite buildings, it really is.